Hey! That was too loud, sorry. But excited. Hello, friends. It's your friend Steve. Welcome back. Hello to my new listeners. Very excited. Got some new listeners. All A-OK. Sorry I'm a little late. My best friend came into town, and it was weird. And I wanted him to be like my first guest on my TV. On my podcast. But then I was like, oh, well, this would be awkward if I'm like, hey, dude, would you mind doing my podcast? So I just didn't do it. But I had a great weekend. He did what I thought he was going to do. He asked me to be his best man, which I was very honored and blessed to do. Killed my anxiety. I had anxiety since he told me he wanted to come to Virginia to visit. So yeah, was like, oh god, this is gonna happen. It's not like I don't want to do it. It's just I have anxiety. I don't know if you know this, but I have really bad anxiety. I overthink like a mofo. I am an overthinker. You know, if I was a philosopher in the olden days when that was a profession, like literally a person's profession in the old days, because it was so old, you literally were a dreamer. You were like, hey, I have an idea. Let me dream about it. And then you were like, oh, well, let me tell other people. That's what, like, podcasting is. Podcasting is the 2021 version of a philosopher. You know, I'm just telling you all my ideas and hopes and dreams. And you guys are liking and hopefully subscribing. But anyway. So anyway, that was weird. So he came. And it was great. It was a great time. Got to see him. We went karaokeing, which isn't my favorite, but he loves it. So it's a give and take in our relationship. Yeah, he's ruined every single Red Hot Chili Pepper song I can ever think of. Never again will I ever love them like I used to. But anyway, I mean, I love the guy. I love him like a brother. But so he told me, best friends, best man. But now we wait for the wedding. It's going to be a glorious day. So he was here, so I didn't feel like doing a podcast. Sorry about that. If you look forward to this, first off, thank you for looking forward to this. I appreciate that. Because I look forward to it. I really do. I do enjoy talking to you, or talking into this little microphone, and then hopefully someone listens. If they don't, they don't. But I love it. It makes me laugh. I like to think I'm a little funny. I'm maybe not. I gotta be funny though. I'm not that good looking. I'm alright. I'm not like an ugly person, but yeah, I'm definitely like more personality than anything. So speaking of, had an interesting encounter this weekend. Before my friend came, Thursday. I don't know why I need to know the date, but anyway, actually it kind of makes it a little more interesting. So anyways, Thursday, I went to my local watering hole. Stroke, sorry. So I went to my local watering hole. Had a few beverages. So I'm just sitting there, and in walks the most beautiful human being I have ever known. My Sherpa in life, my spiritual guide, maybe the most positive human being I've ever met. And we used to work together. He's an insane person, but I love him. So anyway, he comes in. He got me into energy, by the way. That was really loud, sorry. He got me into energy and all this positivity, because he used to be stressed the fuck out. You know, he became a huge pothead after he quit our job, and he went through a divorce. His mother died, which bonded us, because my dad's dead. Bonded over dead parents. We're kind of like Bruce Wayne and Batman merging together. So we were just, we all, every time I have something go on in my life, he's a good dude. He's a good friend, and he's very crazy, which I enjoy. I love weirdos, as you could tell. I'm a weirdo myself. I'm a bit of a weirdo. So anyway, so I'm talking to him, and of course we're always laughing, joking, and we're just like at the end of the bar, like there's no one there, so we're like, whatever. So then all of a sudden, like, I don't know why, I turn around and there's just these two hot chicks just like standing there. I was like, oh, good Lord. I said, how long have you been there? Have you just been like, why are you behind me? Like, there's open bars. So anyway, we start talking to them, and I'm like, this is weird, but I'm like enjoying it because they're both really hot. One's a little hotter than the other, but that's just judgment. That's just, coolness. That's whatever you prefer. Definitely a hot friend, kind of hot friend scenario. So we're talking to them, and they walk away. And I'm like, well, first off, we find out they're strippers, which is nothing wrong with being a stripper. I rather enjoy talking to strippers. I love strippers, actually. Every strip club I've been to has been a weird but awesome experience. I mean, you get booze and like naked women. I do like, okay, let me preface by saying this. I don't like the forced conversation and the upfront, like, it's a money thing, which doesn't bother me. I get it. Like, you are hot. You have a window. You're like an NBA player. You can only play in the league for so long before, you got bad knees and bad credit. I get it. You got to get it in when you can get it in. I understand. If I was hot, I'd be a fucking stripper in a heartbeat. Explicit, sorry, YouTube. But anyway, so we're talking, and they walk up. They're like, we have to go to the bathroom. We're like, okay, cool. This is interesting. And he just turns to me, nonchalant, and he goes, they're professional, for sure. And I was like strippers? Yeah, I know. They told us they were strippers. He goes, nope, definitely hookers. And I was like, huh. Did not get like the hooker vibe. Didn't get like, Julia Roberts vibe, like, Pretty Woman. And I was like, interesting. He's like, 100%. They're going to come back, start picking us off one by one. They're probably like in the bathroom discussing who's doing who. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Normally he's right, though. He's a very sex worker vibe, whatever he picks up on. So anyway, they come back, and then we start laughing and joking. And then they go, so they like, then they do pair us off. Like, she goes with him to like get drinks or something. I don't know why we just couldn't drink together. And then I guess she gets stuck with me because I'm like, okay, well, I really don't want to pay for sex. Not that I have a thing against it, but whatever. So we're like talking. And, she's actually hilarious. Like, she was really funny. Like, we were like vibing like a motherfucker. And we're laughing and joking. And then she goes, she's talking about something. And I keep noticing that, like, every time she's talking, like, her friends around, like, no one's paying attention to her. Like, everyone's, like, paying attention to the hot one. No, I didn't want to say the hot one. The hotter one. I think she was beautiful. But anyway, she was not my type, but she was very pretty. So anyways, they're all like distracted by the hot girl who's like crazy. The young, hot, crazy stripper, whatever. Alleged hooker. I mean, whatever. You do you. Is that the right word? Hooker? Are we saying hooker or escort? She was an accompanier or whatever. So anyway, we keep talking. And I'm like, oh, well, this must be heartbreaking. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I feel like you're saying hilarious stuff, but no one's paying attention to you. Everyone is like distracted by your friend. We were laughing about that. We're joking. And we're like, huh. And I was just like, then my friend comes out to me and goes, you're right. I was right. I'm like, what? He's like, she told me how much a night. And I was like, well, then I felt weird because the one I was talking to didn't say anything about money. So then I'm like, am I too ugly for a hooker? Like, a hooker's just like, I have sex for money, but to fuck this guy, good lord, not a number existed. And I'd be like, oh, if she was just like, it's like $300 a night, I would be like, oh, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to pay you $300 to have sex with you. I'm not going to disappoint you and then pay you. I mean, I just feel like, that's awkward. Not that, I mean, like, in 10 years, I could definitely see myself having a prostitute. Because it's like, I don't really care. It's like, we all pay for it one way or the other. And I think being a hooker is actually a great job. It's like, you're providing a service. There's a lot of lonely dudes. There's a lot of ugly, lonely dudes. And you're fucking them for money. And that's great. That's fucking great. It really is. It's like, you're doing a service. Because, I mean, dude, it gets lonely. Being single is a lonely thing. But, it is what it is. So we keep talking, and I'm like, huh. I'm like, when is she gonna hit me up for the money? Like, she doesn't keeps not talking about money. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna leave her alone. Like, I'm gonna, the fish I caught, I'm putting it back in the ocean, because you know what, boo? Like, go do you. Like, you know what? Go make some money. So she's, like, talking to other people, which I'm like, whatever. I'm like, we don't know each other, whatever. Then she keeps coming back to me and talking to me, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then my friend, who has way too much confidence in himself, is like, oh, I'm gonna bang her, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm like, well, I was like, I kind of think that's her end game, is to get money and have sex. And I mean, I feel like having sex and money is the only reason she's here. So he's like hitting on her and shit, and like she like freaks the fuck out on him, which good for her, because like he's like grabbing on her and stuff. Don't grab on women, it's weird. I mean, accidentally, or, I mean, I've done it once or twice, but I was, like, really hammered, and I felt really bad about it. But yeah, just, like, leave her alone. Like, she's clearly here to have sex for money, which is, like, also, I feel like not, like, it's fine, but it's also, like, she was a little girl once, and it's, like, that depresses me a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. Like, she's like a little girl, like brushing Barbies and stuff. And then she's like, one day I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to grow up and be a doctor. And then it like cut to 15 years later, and she's like sucking an old dude's dick. It's like dreams. She had dreams at once. And that's the only thing I'm like, see, the part of it that's fine with me is having sex for money and helping sad dudes out. The part of it that I don't like, it's like, how does she feel? Like, she's just, like, sucking a dick for money. Or, like, fucking a really ugly dude for money. I mean, I just don't, like, I don't think they have the love of the game. Like, when you're having sex with a girl, it's like, oh, well, she wants to have sex with me. Hell yeah. Unless you're, like, a weirdo and you're doing the other stuff. But most of the time, women, like, want to have sex with you, which is fabulous. I'm always shocked when they want to have sex with me. But, it's cool. Now my cat is freaking out. But anyway, so I'm always shocked that they want to have sex with me. I'm like, whoa. I was like, I thought I was going to be into this, but you seem to be very into this. Hell yeah. But, yeah. But that's the only thing I don't like, is that, how do they feel? And then I found out this, and now apparently I know a hooker, or escort, or whatever we're calling them, because I told her the story, and she was like, oh, yeah, I used to escort. Now I'm like, I want to talk to you. First off, money is very interesting to me. Like, how much do you charge? What is your value? I mean, like, what your value? You're pretty much putting a value sign on your pussy, and that's just what I'm curious about. Like, young escorts or older escorts. I want to just know, like, what number did, like, because everyone has a number. Like, I'm like, oh, I'd fuck her for, like, $1,000 or something. Men would probably fuck most women for free. But anyway, it's just like, really like not attractive women. I'd be like, oh yeah, like $100 to $1,000. I don't very think highly of my penis, but it's whatever. $100. I mean, $100 is $100. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's a lot of sports gambling. But anyway, so now I'm thinking, how do you come up with the value? But now I'm like really want her to get on here, but I don't know if she'll do it, because I don't think she wants to like expose that she used to do that, which is not a shameful thing, but people are very judgmental. So I'm hoping, I have a few stripper friends. Shocking that a dude that looks like me has stripper friends, but I have stripper friends that don't want to be on the show. By the way, this is me telling you that we're going to do guests soon. And I'm very excited about it. And then we're probably going to do like a video aspect of it, because I kind of want to just do video. And then maybe I'll still do the podcast, but it'll be more of a YouTube video show. I don't know why I'm telling you this. You don't really care. But anyway, if you eventually see videos of me doing a chat show, it's because I started doing video chat shows. Shocking. So anyway, I let her go. I put her back in the ocean, and I'm walking around talking to people, just joking, laughing, having a good time. And, shh. So she keeps coming back to me, like, I keep going, hey, get out of here, little doggy. Like, go be, like, I captured a wolf, and I was raising a wolf, and eventually I'm like, get out of here, wolf, go live with your own kind. And I don't think there was ever been a movie where they captured a wolf and raised a wolf, like a dragon. Let's say a dragon. Like, I captured a dragon. And, like, again, really fucked up. Don't capture dragons. Let dragons live. But anyway, a creature, and I caught it, and I'm raising it as my own. And then I'm like, no. Go into the woods. Go be with your own people. And she just keeps coming back. She's like, no. I probably could have just said cat. But anyway. So she keeps talking to me, and we're, like, laughing and joking. And then, like, the other one's like, the guy comes up to me and goes, hey, man, I'm a little strapped for cash. I was like, oh, dude, how much do you need? Like, whatever. Like, I'll lend you money. I mean, you're good for it. And he's like, oh, well, it's like $150 for her, and got to pay for her friend, too. And I was like, oh, I didn't think her friend was a hooker, because she never asked me for money. And, like, she was like, I bought her one drink, because she was making me laugh, and we were having a good time. And I was like, why is she not asking me for money? I'm so ugly, I'm unfuckable for money. And then that started really making me sad. But anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll lend you money. He's like, it's $150 for her, and $100. I was like, well, I'm not lending you $300, because you're not even going to bang the other one, because you're only going to bang the one. And I was like, well, maybe I'll just spend the money, because I love stories. I mean, what am I getting? This is literally what I was going to do. I was going to have a story and tell you guys on here. So I was like, well, $300, shit. I mean, it would probably be an epic story. But then like, they started, like, telling me about their baby daddies, which is shocking that a stripper has a baby daddy. Most people in this area have baby daddies or baby mamas. It's a lot of baby mama drama. It's like living in Jerry Springer world, living in this part of Virginia. So anyway, I'm like, now, like, they are about to do the cardinal sin where they're going to have sex, and not for money, because the dudes that were hitting on them, they were talking to, definitely didn't have money. They were, like, straight up, like, island boys. Although island boys are rich, but they were like island boys that never got successful. That's what they were. So I'm like, oh, that's just sad. So I just got food, and I was like, and I was leaving, and then one of my good friends showed up, and he was like, oh man, have one beer with me. And I was like, you know what, fine. I was like, I'm waiting for my food. I'll have a drink with you. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get food. No, he had ordered, and then I ordered, and so our foods came out at the same time. I was like, well, I'll finish my beer. So we're talking, and this dude is epic. He's effing hilarious. I want to probably get him on the podcast, but he has, like, an actual good career, so I don't know if he'll be weird and how funny he is in normal life. So we're talking, and, like, the hooker, what's the sex positive person, I don't know what we're going to call her. Let's just call her, I don't know. But anyway, so she comes over, and she's like, oh, hey, Steven, where'd you go? This is the drunk, like, really hot one. I was like, oh, well, I was talking to your friend, and then I was about to leave, and, so my buddy's eating French fries, and he's like, hey, have some. I was like, all right. So I had, like, a couple. I was like, I'm trying to be on a diet, so thanks, but no thanks. So I had, like, a few, though, because I had a little buzz. And so she walks over, and then she starts eating them. And I was like, oh boy, because my buddy is no fucks. He does not care. He goes, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm hungry. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And I'm like, oh boy. And then she's like, what? But I'm hungry. And he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck if you're hungry. I'm also hungry. That's why I ordered food. He's like, who the fuck are you? And her friend comes over, and she goes, but she's cute. And my buddy's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't know who you are. Stop eating my food. It's like, get out of here. He's like, you ate 4 French fries. That's 25 cents a French fry. And I was dying laughing. I was like, oh god. And then they were arguing a back and forth, and she's like, but she's cute and she's hungry. You should buy her own French fries. He's like, she's got money to buy her own. Oh man, it was great. It was really like one of those moments where you're like, am I in a sitcom right now? Like, am I being punked? But they were like so mad that they yelled it, and she's just like, and like didn't cry, but like walked away. And he's like, I gotta go. Thank God I didn't get food here to stay, and I left. I was like, yeah, I have to go. Like, thank God I didn't open my food, because if I would have been really mad. If I'm a fat person, you touch my food, it's like, spitting in my mother's face. So, and then I talked to her on Instagram, because I drunkenly put her Instagram in my search bar. And yeah, turns out the one I was talking to, not a hooker, and actually really mad that her friend was a hooker. I was like, huh. Now I feel good, because she was like talking to me for free. She, there was no, hidden motive. She was talking to me because she wanted to, which is a nice thing. So that's the end of the story. And that's going to be the end of the episode. So videos coming, guests are coming. If you want to be a guest and you listen regularly, I know a few people, but hit me up. I love to talk to like sex workers, very interesting people. Love to talk to doctors, nurses, any normal people that have like interesting jobs. I love to talk to. I just have a lot of questions. I'm a very interesting dude. Not interested in, but I'm interested. I'm the one doing the interesting, I think. Maybe not. All right. Let's drink to hookers this week. Hell yeah. I love you, hookers. You guys, hookers and strippers, I love you guys. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work. You're doing the Lord's work. Love you. What else? Well, that's it. That's it. I want to say one more thing. As always, fuck Hitler. Bye!